Here's the 3 most dangerous kid toys. The kite tube was made to be pulled behind a boat and then raised up into the air. But when people would get up into the air, they would have no control. And although it looks fun, 3 adults were killed from falling off. This floaty was made for babies to sit in. However, it was cheaply made and ripped easily, causing babies to fall into the water. The company was fined $650 for knowing about this problem for 6 years. Slip and slides may not seem dangerous, however, they're only meant for kids. In 1993, there was a warning issued for teens and adults using slip and slides. The slides aren't long enough for their size and weight, so people were getting hurt from the sudden stop. At the time of the warning, 1 teenager and 7 adults had become paralyzed from neck injuries.
I get overwhelmed so easily. My anxiety creeps inside of me, makes it hard to breathe. What's come over me feels like I'm somebody else. I get overwhelmed so easily. I get overwhelmed so easily. My anxiety creeps inside of me, makes it hard to breathe. What's come over me feels like I'm somebody else. I get overwhelmed.
Photos you're not supposed to see. Here's what the Teletubbies look like without their heads. Here's where the picture on the Cliff Bar was taken. Here's what a magic 8-ball really looks like. Here's what a ramen noodle cup looks like on the inside. And here's how pineapples are grown. Boss, I'm gonna need a raise, otherwise there's 3 companies calling me every day. What? Which companies? Water, electrical, and the bank. Reason there's UFO sightings in Area 51. In the 1950s, US planes were doing low-flying recon missions over Russia. They did these missions to obtain more information because they were enemies, but they were constantly worried about being spotted and shot down. So in 1954, the president authorized the development of a high-flying top-secret aircraft. They needed a location that wasn't easily accessed by the public, so they chose Area 51. In 1955, there were spottings of UFOs in that area, and this is because they were testing the new aircraft that they built. It could fly higher than 60,000 feet in the air, and at the time, normal aircrafts could only fly 10,000 to 20,000 feet in the air. So when pilots would spot this top secret aircraft above them, they would think it's a UFO. 5 times actors weren't acting. In this scene of Stranger Things, when Eleven was fighting possessed Billy, she was so exhausted from filming that she broke character and fell back into Michael's arms. You can even see him look at the producers because he wasn't expecting it. In this episode of Riverdale, when Archie rescued Cheryl from the lake, even though he was punching a mat on the ice, he actually broke his hand from hitting so hard. In the movie Bird Box, the actor Sandra Bullock was blindfolded the whole time, and she actually couldn't see. So in scenes when she was stumbling around, it was actually real and not acting. In the movie Maleficent, they couldn't find any kids that weren't scared of her, so they ended up using her own child. Her daughter wasn't acting, she was just trying to get her mom's attention. In this episode of Friends, David Schwimmer pranked Jennifer Aniston by pretending to fall down the stairs. She didn't know this was happening, so she actually got scared. Dark truth about iCarly. In the show Drake and Josh, Jerry Traynor played the character named Crazy Steve, who had anger issues, and Miranda Cosgrove played a girl named Megan. As soon as the show ended, iCarly came out. Fans believed that Crazy Steve murdered Drake, Josh, and their family, then kidnapped Megan and brought her to Seattle, where he made her change her name to Carly and pretend he was her brother Spencer. So no one would be suspicious, Spencer made up a fake story that their father was in the US Navy and their mother passed away. Carly then started a web show hoping someone would find out and rescue her. I just moved into the apartment next door and I was wondering, how many rolls of wallpaper did you buy when you moved in? I bought 18 rolls. It's kind of funny, I put the wallpaper up everywhere and I still had 10 rolls left over. So did I. 3 places you're not allowed to visit. In Atlanta, Georgia, they made this vault to hide the recipe for Coca-Cola. And legend has it that only 2 or 3 employees actually know the ingredients. The people who live on North Sentinel Island are known for firing flaming arrows and throwing rocks at tourists. So the government decided it's off limits. This vault in Norway holds thousands of seeds for every plant on Earth, which could restore the Earth if there is ever a disaster that wiped out all of our natural resources. To who do you owe your success as a millionaire? And what were you before she came into your life? I owe everything to my girlfriend. A billionaire. Strangest last meal requests on death row. In 1963, Victor Harry Fager was sentenced to death for a kidnap and murder. For his final meal, he requested a single olive with the seed left in it. After his execution, the seed was found in his pocket. They believe he wanted to be buried with it so a tree would sprout on top of him. Gerald Lee Mitchell requested an assorted bag of Jolly Ranchers and he ate every single one. Now before I tell you the craziest one, I found this app that boosts your Snap score and makes your Snapchat look like this. If you want to try it, just press the button on my profile. In 1990, James Edward Smith requested a lump of soil, but because dirt isn't on the list of permitted food, he was served a cup of yogurt instead. It says on the menu that you sell fat-free fries, is that true? Yep, 100%. Really? Well then I'll get a large. Okay, it'll only be a minute. Wait a minute, why are the potatoes dripping with oil? I thought you said it was fat-free. It is, you only have to pay for the potatoes. Three most terrifying places to swim. This pool in China has machinery made to create waves, but in 2019 it malfunctioned and made a bigger wave than the pool was designed for. It sent people flying in the air and landing on tiles. 44 people were injured, but there's luckily no deaths. This place in Hawaii called the Pool of Death is a place to swim made out of volcanic rocks. The water is clear and the perfect temperature for swimming, but at any time waves from the ocean can throw people against the rocks and pull them underwater, which has caused many deaths. This popular tourist spot called Devil's Pool is the deadliest place to swim on Earth. Against the waterfall's edge, it's surrounded by rocks, making it the perfect place to swim and take pictures. But one wrong move and you'll fall to your death. No, I should get it because I always get 100%. But I've never skipped a day of class. What are you two arguing about? We found this $20 bill and decided to give it to whoever could tell the biggest lie. You should be ashamed of yourself. When I was your age, I didn't even know what a lie was. You win. Normal looking photos with disturbing backstories. This looks like a normal picture at first, but if you look on the left, you can see a hand around the girl that doesn't belong to any one of them. People believe this is the hand of a ghost because the picture was taken near a haunted house. This picture was taken in 1998, a few minutes before the red vehicle on the right had a bomb explode inside of it. Luckily, the father and son survived, but the person taking the picture didn't. In 1975, these two brothers took a picture because their hair was sticking up. A few seconds later, lightning struck and another hiker died. The boys survived, but one of them got third-degree burns and later took his life.
Overwhelmed so easily, my anxiety creeps inside of me, makes it hard to breathe, words come over me. I get overwhelmed so easily, my anxiety creeps inside of me, makes it hard to breathe, words come over me, feels like I'm so.
Three celebrities who gave up fame to work normal jobs. Dylan and Cole Sprouse starred in the show The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. While Cole continued his acting career by going on the show Riverdale, Dylan stopped to open up his own brewery. Peter Ostrom played Charlie Bucket in Willy Wonka, but after that he refused a 3-movie deal. As he got older, he became a veterinarian and specializes in farm animals. Hayden Christensen was known for playing Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars. But in 2007, he moved to Canada and bought a farm. With his passion for design, he also started his own clothing company in 2013. Why is there a 4-year gap on your resume? Oh, that's when I was in Yale. Oh wow, that's impressive. You're hired. Thank you so much. I really needed this job. Biggest coincidences in the world. Shortly before their wedding, Nick and Amy decided to go through Nick's baby photos. In this picture of him playing at the beach during a vacation, Amy noticed herself in the background 11 years before they met. A reporter was asking people on the street in the UK if they remembered the final round of the 1967 FA Cup soccer game. The person he chose to interview turned out to be the goalie who played in the game, and look how happy he was.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, I do. I played in it.
Did you?
I was goalkeeper for Liverpool.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a stroke of luck me meeting
nice.
you.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you remind me of your name, please?
Tommy Lawrence.
The guys in these pictures look the exact same, but they're not even related. The first picture is Enzo Ferrari, who was a race car driver and the founder of the car brand Ferrari. The other guy is a soccer player named Mesu. But the scariest part is that Enzo died in 1988, which is the same year that Mesu was born. I like your t-shirt. Oh, thanks. Crazy laws that only exist in North Korea. In 2013, North Korea's leader made a law that there would only be 28 hairstyles allowed. 18 for the woman and 10 for the men. But the most unfair part is that the leader's haircut isn't even on the list. You can't watch your favorite shows on TV. They have 3 channels to choose from that are controlled by the government. The only people who are allowed to own cars are state officials. It's estimated that 1 to 10 in 1,000 people can own one. You can't make an international call. In 2007, a man was shot in a stadium because he made a call outside of North Korea. If you live in North Korea, you're forced to stay there for the rest rest of your life. Finally, if you thought the last one was crazy, you're not allowed to have your own opinions that go against the leader's rules. You'll be sent away to an educational camp where they'll threaten and torture you until you learn to not have your own opinion. I bought this lie detector, so if you lie, it'll beep, okay? So, you were at school today, right? Yeah. Okay, I was at the movies. Alright, I went for a beer with my friends. What? When I was your age, I never would have touched alcohol. He really is your son. Coolest houses in the world. The safe house is the only home in the world designed for a zombie apocalypse. When you flip the switch, the mechanical concrete walls and steel doors shut, making it impossible to get in. It even has a drawbridge to get to the pool so you don't have to go downstairs. This house has 3 floors with built-in slides. One side of the house has stairs to get to each floor, but on the other side there's a slide that you could ride all the way down to the first floor. The house also has a built-in ball pit. Finally, there's 130 of these floating houses being built in Dubai. The bedroom is on the lowest floor, making it fully underwater. There's huge windows that overlook the coral reef. And on the top floor, there's a bar and hot tub. Luke! Yeah? Yeah? Oh, so you've been on your phone the whole time, huh? What? No! Hey, I'd like you to do the dishes. In a million coincidences. This bird landed on the page about itself. This guy's t-shirt, race number, and finishing time were all the same number. A dog gave birth to these 3 puppies, each with their own corresponding number on their back. These 2 strangers sat next to each other at a bar and spelled Cookie Monster. And this person managed to take a picture at the exact same time as the balloon was popping. Our principal's an idiot. Do you know who I am? No. I'm his daughter. Do you know who I am? No. Good. 3 actors who actually got injured in movies. In Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise had a scene where he jumped from building to building. He slams into the building, then pulls himself up in pain and slowly limps away. This is because when he hit the building, he actually broke his ankle. In The Exorcist, there's a scene where the possessed girl slaps her mom across the room, causing her to yell. To film this scene, there were people who pulled the actor onto her back using wires. But they pulled too hard and left her with lifelong back pain. Finally, in a scene for the movie Apocalypse Now, the actor had to pretend like he was drunk. But he thought it would be more realistic if he was actually drunk, so that's what they did. And because he wasn't thinking right, he punched a mirror, causing it to break and cut his hand. But he kept going and they used it in the final cut. You want to go out for supper tonight? Yeah, sure. Okay, be ready in an hour. Are you ready? No, not yet. 3 Secret Service tactics that are insane. The president's main way of transportation is called the Beast. It's a Cadillac limousine with over 7 tons of armor, which is 8 inches thick. It can defend against gunfire and explosives, but it never travels alone. In the line of vehicles, there's a black van that holds the counter-assault team, and in total there's 12 vehicles that each cost over $1 million. When chefs are cooking food for the president, every single one of their movements is monitored by an agent to make sure they're not poisoning the food. When the president travels, chefs go with him to personally prepare his food. He doesn't eat any food that's gifted to him, and when he buys food at a restaurant, he doesn't actually eat it. It's usually just for a photo. The president gets lots of online threats, and even if it's just a joke, they investigate every single aspect of that person's life. Their neighbors, friends, and employees can all be interviewed. They do this to see how serious the threat is, then decide if they need to take action on the person or not. You were today's years old when you found this out. Owls' legs are longer than you thought. When someone tells you to break a leg in an audition, it's because they want you to end up in the cast. When the first episode of a show is called pilot, it's because it's the first time they're on air. The L in the store Staples is a half-open staple. Flames don't have shadows. The blue side of the eraser is meant to clean up smudges made by the pink side. What happened to you? My pirate ship was under attack and they got a lucky shot on my leg, so now I have this wooden peg. What about your hand? When my ship sank, a shark bit off my hand, so now I have this hook. Oh, and why do you have an eye patch? I was standing on a dock and a seagull pooped in my eye. But you don't go blind from seagull poop. True, but it was my first day with the hook. You ask. No, why can't you ask? Just ask. No, you ask. Fine. Hey, my friend wants to ask you something. Can you give me back my controller tomorrow? Yeah, sure. Okay, but don't forget. I won't forget. So, did you bring it? Bring what? Oh! This is my favorite part of the movie. Spider-Man's about to die. Seriously? Here's what movies look like without special effects. The Mandalorian was filmed in a studio with one big screen. Here's how Spider-Man flies in the sky. Here's what Thanos actually looked like before special effects. Most racing scenes aren't actually filmed in the streets, but in a studio. Although Jumanji was filmed in a desert, some scenes had to be filmed in a studio. The actors who play the monkeys in Planet of the Apes actually look pretty funny. And here's what I look like without special effects. Can I ask one question? But you just did. Fine, can I ask 2 questions? You already did. Okay, can I ask 4 questions? You just did, again. When? Now. 3 candies that can kill you. With chewing gum, you could blow bubbles, use it for focus, or just chew it for flavor. One guy found out that dipping it in citric acid prolongs the taste. But one night he dipped it in the wrong bowl. The bowl contained an unknown chemical that was possibly explosive. All it took was one chew and the gum exploded in his mouth. Unfortunately, the 25-year-old died from his injuries. Fun dip are little sticks that you lick sugar off of. But for some kids that wasn't enough. They decided to inhale the sugar through their nostrils. When it's inhaled, it goes in your lungs and makes your nose bleed. And all sorts of risks can occur. Kinder Surprises were really popular. You get a tasty chocolate egg with a fun toy inside. But they were banned in America due to a law that states you can't have non-edible objects in any type of food. Some kids would think the toy inside is another candy, which caused a 3-year-old to pass away from choking on a Kinder Surprise toy. Did you get home safe? No, I died a few times. Would you like a bag today? No thanks, I'll just carry the 20 items on my head. Mom, I'm going out. With your friends? No, Mom, with Dora the Explorer. Who's Dora? Is she your girlfriend? Pictures you're not supposed to see. Here's what an owl looks like without any feathers. This is what tiger skin looks like. Here's a human heart without any blood. This is what the bottom of a fire hydrant looks like. Here's the inside of a turtle's mouth. Here's the inside of a bowling ball. And here's the inside of a dice. Are these plates clean? They're as clean as cold water can get them. Just eat your meal. Are you sure these plates are clean? I told you before, those dishes are as clean as cold water can get them. Grandpa, your dog keeps growling at me. Cold water, come here. Movie mistakes that made the final cut. In Star Wars Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks are bowing down to see 3PO. In one clip they show a close-up of an Ewok's face, and if you look closely you could see a missing eye. If you look through the hole you could see the actor's face. During Rey and BB-8's first encounter, she noticed his antenna was bent and decided to help him out. When she took out the antenna to fix it, the top of BB-8 is a metallic gray color. But when she goes to put the antenna back on, his head changes to white. Now before I tell you the craziest one about the Black Panther, I found this app that tells you your celebrity lookalike, and apparently I look like Marilyn Monroe. If you want to find out who you look like, just press the button on my profile. In the Black Panther, Shuri designed him an upgraded suit with a special pair of shoes called sneakers. They had this name because they absorbed sound so he could walk around quietly. It allowed the Black Panther to sneak behind his enemies without them hearing him. But later in the movie when he runs and jumps, the sound editors forgot to leave out the footsteps. Would you like a table today? No, I'm gonna eat on the floor. Are you buying all these items today? No, I'm stealing them. I just wanted to show you first. Are you doing your homework? No, I'm writing a letter to SpongeBob. Photos you're not supposed to see. Did you know big lighters are just made out of small lighters? This is what a bathroom without any stalls looks like. This is what paint looks like before you stir it. Here's what the inside of a pool table looks like. And here's what the inside of a gas pump looks like. Luke, where's your homework? I'm really sorry, I don't have it here. How come? I ate my worksheets. What? Why would you do such a thing? Because my dog refused to. What prisoner invented Lamborghini? Ferruccio Lamborghini was a farmer, but he was more interested in the machinery like tractors. In 1940, he was drafted into the Italian Royal Air Force where he served as a mechanic. He was later taken as a prisoner by the British at the end of war in 1945. He worked as their mechanic and they let him go after a year. After the war, in his spare time, he started making tractors and named them Lamborghinis. It ended up being one of the largest manufacturers of its kind in Italy. With his success, he started collecting cars. He was disappointed with his Ferrari 250 GT because the clutch kept breaking. When he brought it to a mechanic, he found out that the car used the same clutch he uses in some of his tractors. He was mad because he pays 10 euros for a tractor's clutch and 1,000 euros for the car's clutch. He decided to tell the founder Enzo Ferrari about the problems. But he said the problem wasn't with the car, it was with him because he's a farmer and a tractor driver, not a car manufacturer. After that, Ferruccio was determined, so he hired 3 ex-employees from Ferrari. And 9 months later, his first sports car came out, which was the Lamborghini 350 GT. It proved to everyone that he wasn't just a tractor manufacturer. His employees started working on a secret project car called the Miura P400, which Ferruccio didn't know about. When he found out about it, he decided not to scrap the idea, which ended up being one of his best decisions ever. It was the world's first sports car to be made with a rear mid-engine, and the rear mid-engine became standard on all high-performance cars. Hey, do you want to go to the movie theater with me? To watch a movie? No, to count how many seats there are. Oh hey, are you shopping for groceries too? No, I'm hunting unicorns. Ooh, did you hurt yourself? No, do you want me to do it again? This is what actually happens during sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is when you feel like you're awake, meaning you could see and hear, but your body's still asleep and unable to move. During this, you may be unable to move or speak for a couple seconds or even a few minutes. Some people also feel pressure on their chest, as if someone was sitting or standing on it. You might even be afraid because of a nightmare that you were having. This usually happens when you're first falling asleep or your body's getting ready to wake up. Answers to 3 questions about planes you've always wanted to ask. Why don't they have the same seatbelts as cars? For shoulder straps to work, it has to be attached to something sturdy like a car frame. And airplane walls aren't equipped for that. If they were, it would make the plane heavier, making it burn more fuel. Plane seatbelts have lift lever buckles, making it stronger, and so you can't accidentally open it. Why do planes have red and green lights on their wings? The red light is always on the left wing and the green light is always on the right wing. This way other pilots and traffic control can tell which way the plane is flying. The 2 different colors also make it less likely for the plane to be confused with something like a drone. Why are the windows round? Rounded corners help distribute stress, reducing the chance of it breaking. Square windows are dangerous because the sharp angles are easy to crack because of air pressure. Hey ladies, how's it going? Ooh, I like your car. Can I see the inside? Yeah, go ahead. You don't even have Guidryy LED car lights? What? Do you know what Guidryy LED car lights are? Of course, everyone's been talking about them. You don't have any? No? Here, I have an extra. Hey ladies, how's it going? Not you again. Wait, are those Guidryy LED car lights? Yep. Here's my number, call me. Jobs you didn't know existed. Ben Lashes is an internet famous cat manager. He manages famous cats like Grumpy Cat, Keyboard Cat, and Nyan Cat. He takes 20% of their earnings. So for an example, when Grumpy Cat made an estimated $1 million in her first year, he would have made $200,000 for just 1 client. Water slide testers travel from North America to places like Egypt to go to water parks and test their slides. They rate them based on the biggest splash and the adrenaline factor, then post their opinions online. Their yearly salary is $34,000. The China Giant Panda Protection and Research Center posted a job online called the Panda Nanny. You have to spend 365 days a year with a panda, but you get free meals and an SUV on top of the $32,000 salary. The only requirements are that you have to be 22 years or older and have basic knowledge of pandas. Hello? Are you asleep? No! I'm skydiving! Oh my gosh, did you just fall? No, I tapped the ground. Hey, are you sleeping? No, I'm trying to die. This picture probably confuses you, but the buildings are just made out of Lego. This tree looks like a giant broccoli. This dog looks like a bodybuilder. This lady looks like she has really thin legs, but it's just a white stripe on her pants. This dog looks like he has bad teeth, but it's actually just a toy. The angle this photo was taken makes his arm look like a leg. The view out this window is so nice it looks like a painting. It's 2 flowers plus 2 flowers. 4 flowers? Very good. Now it's 2,563 flowers plus 8,922 flowers. A garden? You can only ride this roller coaster once. Ulionis Yearbonis designed this roller coaster called the Euthanasia Coaster. It's capable of holding up to 24 passengers. Once they're all on board, it starts to slowly ascend to the top, which is 510 feet in the air. That's just a little bit smaller than the tallest building in America. Once they're at the top, it gives everyone the decision to stop and go back down safely. After that, everyone has to manually press a button to start the ride. Then it falls at a speed of 223 miles per hour and goes through 7 loops that keep getting smaller. It's designed like this so riders maintain 10 G's of force for a full 60 seconds. Everyone's blood would rush to their feet, leaving no blood left in their brain. This causes them to lose their vision and eventually black out and die. It was designed for people with uncurable diseases who wanted an unpainful death. Oh, are you choking? No, I'm playing golf. Is this everything for you today? No, I got some invisible items too. Are you crying? No, my eyes are sweating. Babe, do you want to go to the restaurant? To eat? No, to work. This is the worst form of torture. White room torture is when a prisoner is locked up in a soundproof room that's completely white. The walls are white, their clothes are white, and all they could eat is white rice on a white plate. If they have to go to the bathroom, they slip a white piece of paper under the door. Then a guard with padded shoes opens another door with a white bathroom. After months or even years in the room, the prisoner would start to have hallucinations. They then start to forget everything, including who they are and what their parents look like. Can you please lower the price tag for the bananas? Yeah, sure. Really? What are you doing? I'm lowering the price tag. Scientists may have found a way to live forever. There are companies that freeze you as soon as you die. This is called cryonics. They remove your blood and replace it with antifreeze so it keeps your cells alive. They then put your body in storage and freeze it at minus 320 degrees Fahrenheit. They hope that one day in the future when technology and medicine evolves, they could be brought back to life. Police, there's a bunch of people following me. Don't worry, I'm coming to save you. Where are you? On Instagram. Photos you'll have to look at twice. At first it looks like a girl making a weird face, but she's actually sleeping and that's just a magazine. This lady giving a speech looks like she's floating on a magic carpet, but the shadow is just from a flag. It looks like this boy playing soccer has a ponytail, but it's actually the hair from someone behind him. It looks like this dog is cut in half, but it's actually just laying beside a log. It looks like this girl's kissing a boy with a big head, but the person she's kissing is actually behind him. Mom, I won an iPhone in a race today. Really? Good job. How many people were there? Just me and 2 other people. Oh, not that many. Who are the other 2? I don't really think you want to know. What? Tell me right now. The phone owner and the police. Times Google Maps saved lives. One day Sander Cochler was on his way to work when an ex-employee named John Charles kidnapped him. He said their boss owed him money, so he wanted to use Sander to set up a meeting with him. When John left the room, Sander used Google Maps to send his location to his boss. When his boss got his location, he called the police and drove there immediately. John was then arrested and sentenced to 8 years in prison. When Saru was 5 years old, he got on a runaway train in India which separated him from his family. He had to start a whole new life by himself and he searched for his family for 23 years. Since he was so young at the time, he couldn't remember where they lived. The only thing that he could remember is that his hometown was closed off by 2 bridges. When Google Maps came out, he used it to find the 2 bridges and he found them. He then traveled to his hometown and was reunited with his family. Are you doing the dishes? No! I'm playing with water. I'd like to buy this cat food, please. Do you have a cat? No! I'm gonna eat it myself. Were you born in a hospital? No! I was born on a plane. Lucky people who won the food lottery. This person found a mini orange inside of their big orange. This vending machine had an error and distributed everything for the price of 1 item. This person found a green pepper growing inside of a red pepper. This person got a carton full of double yolk eggs. Now before I tell you the craziest one about this bacon, I found this app that lets you prank your friends and family by changing their text messages. Just press this button on my profile if you want to try it too. This person ordered bacon from Five Guys, but since he was their last customer before closing, they gave him the rest of their bacon for free. Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Do you want to come over at like 5 tonight? I work after school till 4:30, so that works out good. Okay, sounds good. 3 animals that saved human lives. One day at 4 in the morning, this parrot started squawking. Not because it was hungry, but because the laundry room was on fire. The loud noises from the parrot woke up its owners, then they ran outside and called the fire department. If it weren't for the parrot, their whole house could have been destroyed, and even worse yet, they could have been hurt badly. One winter night in Russia, someone heard a cat meowing outside their apartment, so they went to go and see it. When they got there, they realized it wasn't the cat making noises, it was actually a baby crying. If it weren't for the cat keeping the baby warm, it might not have survived in the cold. A 5-year-old named Amber Mason and her family traveled to Thailand for a vacation. While they were there, Amber became friends with a 4-year-old elephant. One morning when they were strolling the beach, an unexpected tsunami hit. The elephant rushed to the water to get Amber and pulled her to shore where her mother was waiting. If it weren't for the elephant, she could have drowned. Can I have 2 carrots, please? Here you go. Thanks. Can I have 2 carrots, please? Here you go. Thanks. Can I have 2 carrots, please? Sorry, we don't have any carrots. We only have apples. I'll buy 2 apples then. Here you go. Thanks. Why do you put the apples in your ears? Because you didn't have any carrots. Animals that are bigger than you thought. This is how big horses' lungs are. This is how big a giant leatherback sea turtle is compared to a human. Here's how big a giant African land snail is compared to a hand. Here's how big a blue whale's heart is compared to a human. Here's how big eagle's claws are compared to a hand. And here's how big a saltwater crocodile is. secrets in everyday items that you didn't know about. Have you ever wondered why doorknobs are made out of brass or some sort of alloy metal? This is because those materials help prevent bacteria from spreading. If you take the lid off your cup and place it underneath, it fits perfectly as a coaster. Have you ever wondered why there's a hole in plane windows? The hole is in the middle pane of the 3 window panes. It takes off pressure from the outer pane so the window doesn't break. Gas pump hoses are attached by magnets, so if you forget to take out the hose, the pump won't go with you. The number on the side of lotion tells you how long the product will last so you don't damage your skin. The different colors on the bottom of toothpaste tubes actually mean something. Blue means it's made with natural resources and medicine. Green means it's only made with natural resources. Red means it's made with natural resources and some chemical compositions. And black means it's made with pure chemicals. You need glasses. How do you know? I haven't even told you what's wrong with me yet. I could tell as soon as you walked in through the window. 3 weirdest restaurants in the world. Cafe Econ is a 3-story restaurant. The first floor is normal, but the second and third floor are filled with ankle-deep water and swimming fish. One floor has smaller fish than the other, so you could choose which one you'd like. Guests have to take off their shoes before entering. In the restaurant called Modern Toilet, the chairs are replaced with toilets and the food is shaped like this. An example of a meal you could order is called a turd sub sandwich. This restaurant is prison themed. Guests are brought to their table by a prison guard. Each table is in a different cell blocked off by big black bars. The prison guards carry fake guns, and there's also fake guns on the walls and ceiling. How much longer? Just 10 more seconds, you got this. What about now? 9 more seconds. What about now? 8 more seconds. How about now? 15 more seconds. What? I'm gonna try to hold my breath for a minute, so start the timer now. How long was I under? 3.2 seconds. Real life glitches caught on camera. A guy pulled out a camera to take a picture of a bird when he seen this helicopter taking off. The helicopter starts flying, but the propellers aren't even moving. A dad was recording his son while he was looking in the mirror. The boy turned around to look at the camera, but his reflection in the mirror didn't follow his actions. In 1995, when Mike Tyson was boxing, there was somebody in the crowd recording on a phone. But the thing is, phones with cameras didn't come out until 5 years after this fight. And finally, these people were having a street race on the highway. As soon as the cars passed, you could see a dog in the middle of the highway. It would have been impossible to miss it, so it had to have teleported. My wife wanted this expensive set of cutlery for the kitchen, so I bought her a bunch of sets. Well, my wife wanted gold jewelry, so I bought her a whole bunch. Oh yeah, well I got my wife everything she asked for and more, including gold, silver, and all sorts of precious metals in the world. Liar, there's no way you could afford that. Yeah, we're both richer than you, how is that even possible? Easy, I gave her a periodic table. Come on, load faster. Ugh. What? Last night a thief broke into my house and stole my TV. Really? What did you do? I ran after him and told him he forgot the remote. This is the creepiest McDonald's in the world. In 1986, this McDonald's opened for the World Expo in Canada. Because of its location and cool features, it was placed ahead of the competition. It had real plants, wooden floors, and art covering the walls. Instead of you being able to see the kitchen like in regular McDonald's, the creators hid it. And to get the food to customers, they placed it on a conveyor belt. Millions of people from around the world ate there because it was a must-see tourist attraction. At the end of the expo, it was closed and abandoned for years. Now it looks like this. At the mall, she's seen her friend Luke.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and
Photos you're not allowed to see. You're not allowed to go into Area 51, but a pilot named Gabriel Ziefman broke those rules and flew over top. He took this photo in 2020 and it's the best one we have. Cameras have always been banned in the Supreme Court, but in 1932, Eric Sullivan snuck in a camera. He pretended to have a broken arm and hid his camera inside the cast. 5 years later, there was another photo taken. A lady cut a hole in her purse and put a small camera in it. Since 1878, the most powerful people in the world meet at this forest in California, where they do lots of ceremonies and rituals. This includes presidents, billionaires, and business people. But a photographer named Gabriel Moulon snuck in and took a picture of them doing a ritual. Dad, how much does it cost to become a doctor? About $100,000, son. How much does it cost to build a house? Almost $300,000. And how much does it cost to get married? I'm not sure. I'm still paying. Facts you didn't know that could save your life. If your house ever smells like fish for no reason, 9 times out of 10 it's because there's an electrical fire. If you're in a foreign country and you need to call for help but you don't know the emergency number, call 112 and it'll automatically connect you to the nearest helpline. If a tornado looks like it's not moving, it's actually moving towards you. If you ever wake up to the smell of gas, don't turn on a light. A spark from the light switch could blow up your entire house. Lying flat on your back is the best way to survive a falling elevator. If your hair suddenly stands up, duck and cover because you're about to be struck by lightning. If you ever fall off the edge onto the tracks, don't try and crawl back up. There's a crawl space built to go underneath in case this happens. If a deer runs across the road, it's better to hit it than swerve into the ditch. But if it's a moose, then it's better to swerve into the ditch. Because hitting a moose is like hitting a brick wall. Even if you have no service, you can still dial 911. In an emergency, your phone will connect to the nearest tower. If you ever get kidnapped into the back of a vehicle, disconnect the brake light wire so the cops will pull them over, then kick on the door to let them know that you're there. So what are your strengths? I fall in love easily. Okay, and what are your weaknesses? Those blue eyes of yours. 5 people who won the food lottery. This pack usually comes with 12 cookies, but they got 2 extra. This person got 3 pizzas instead of 2. A lemon the size of a watermelon grew on this person's tree. This person got 3 Pop-Tarts in a pack of 2. And this person got an avocado without the seed. Did you draw that? No! It just magically appeared on my paper. Did you just take a shower? No! It was raining in the bathroom. Excuse me, do you work here? No! I'm going to a Halloween party. Funniest ways people got revenge. When Mark's laptop was stolen from him, he hacked into it from his house and found an embarrassing video of the thief dancing in front of the camera. He then uploaded it to YouTube where it went viral and the thief saw it. So he returned the laptop begging for Mark to take the video down, but he didn't. When a girl found out her boyfriend had cheated on her, she asked him to get matching tattoos as a symbol of love, which he agreed to. But she left him without getting hers, leaving him with a tattoo to remind him of her. This guy was just doing his job painting over some graffiti, but I guess the people who painted it weren't too happy with him. They got revenge by painting him on the wall where he had just covered up. Ah, this stupid computer's broken. Luke, can you help me? What's the problem? It says press F5, but it doesn't work. Okay, show me. Press F5. 5 people who won the food lottery. When this person cracked an egg, a smaller one came out of it. This person found that in their pack of Skittles. This person got blueberries the size of a quarter. This person got a Kinder Egg with 2 layers of chocolate. And this person found 5 peanuts in 1 shell. What do you want to do tonight? We should go to the zoo. But babe, I'm not ready to meet your family yet. 5 people who won the food lottery part 4. This person's watermelon had no seeds. This person got multiple strawberries fused to 1. This person got a fry from Arby's shaped as a treble clef. This person got a triple kiwi. And this person found a really long marshmallow. Five photos you'll have to look at twice. At first it looks like there's a giant pigeon, but it's actually just sitting on a ledge and the person's walking in the distance. At first it looks like there's a human dog, but the dog's actually sitting beside its owner. At first this looks like some weird looking cat, but it's actually just 2 cats laying in the exact same position on each side. At first it looks like this fish has an arm, but the fish just got too close to the camera. And finally, it looks like this person has a small head, but it's just the head from the person in front of them. It's raining outside. No, really? I thought it was a sprinkler. Does your phone have a camera? No! It has 2 buttons on the back in case my shirt doesn't have one. Hello. Hi, do you live here? No! I'm just hiding from the cops. Theme park rides that had to be shut down. On this roller coaster called the Dragon Challenge located at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, there were 2 tracks that at one point were very close together. Several riders got hurt over the years, so they destroyed it and closed it in 2017. The most serious injury on that ride was someone who lost their eye. On the catapult ride in Mount Olympus Water and Theme Park, you went up so fast in such a short amount of time that many people fainted. In 2015, when a child and woman were getting ready to take off, one of the cables snapped, so they closed the ride 2 days later. And finally, Son of the Beast is the world's tallest and fastest wooden roller coaster. It was closed in 2009 because 27 people had to go to the hospital for neck and chest injuries due to a broken beam. It later reopened, but head trauma was reported because of the violent motion from the roller coaster. So it was then shut down for good. 5 people who won the food lottery part 5. This person got a grape with 8 of them fused together. This person opened their banana peel and found 2 of them in there. This person got a really big fry. This person got a really big Lucky Charm. And this person got a strawberry the size of their palm. Where do you live? With my parents. Where do they live? With me. Where do you all live? Together. 5 places you should never swim. The boiling lake in Dominica is so dangerous that the magma underneath the surface makes the water so hot that you would be swimming in boiling water. Lake Karachay is one of the most toxic lakes on earth, due to all the toxic waste that the Russian government introduced when toxic materials weren't as big of a problem. The Nile River is filled with crocodiles everywhere that could kill you, and if you manage to escape the crocodiles, you'll have snakes as a second problem. In the river and outside of it, you could probably find at least 15 venomous species. Jacob's Well is a lake located in Texas where you could dive really deep, but you have to be careful because there's caves below where people can get trapped. And lastly, Hanakape Beach has currents so strong that they even keep count of how many deaths there's been to scare people, and the number of people killed is 80. Why is your brother crying? Oh, he's just sad because he can't watch his favorite shows on Netflix. Does he like SpongeBob? Yeah, that's literally his favorite show. Well, if you switch to Canada's Netflix, he could watch it. Really? Can you show me? All you have to do is press the button on my profile, then press NordVPN and download it. Once you open the app, connect to Canada, and now we can watch any show that's on Canada's Netflix, including SpongeBob. Wow, thank you so much. Jesse, look! 3 bizarre things found in pools. A lady was going down to the pool for a morning aerobics class when she seen a 5-foot crocodile in the pool. She phoned the rangers to come get it, and when they took it out, they noticed it had no markings on it, so it must have been a wild croc. In California, the police were chasing a car, but it was driving so crazy that they had to stop following it for safety reasons. The car was later found in someone's pool, but the driver was nowhere to be seen, so they think he ran away to avoid the charges. And lastly, one morning a family woke up to a hippo in their pool. The water went from crystal clear and clean to dark green and dirty. The father's a safari director, so he's used to seeing animals like that. They said the hippo stayed there for 10 days before it finally left. Here's your present. Is this for me? No! I just wanted to hand it to you so you could hand it back. Is it hot? No! I'm just blowing the dust off. Mom, can I borrow your nail clippers? What for? To slay a dragon. 5 people who won the food lottery part 6. This person found a potato chip the same size as the bag. This person found a giant chip in their ice cream. This person found an extra large egg. This person's ice cream sandwich came with another half. And this person's pepper had peppers growing inside of it. Stop chasing me! I've almost caught ya! Here, take these! Why did you give me scissors? Because you can't run with scissors. I'm making YouTube videos for a year and I still have 0 subscribers. Well, maybe it's time for an upgrade. What do you mean? Do you have any cool lights in the background of your videos? No? Here, consider this an early birthday present from me. Thank you! My friend got me these Govee wall lights for my birthday, so they're gonna be in the background of the videos from now on, so I hope you guys like them. Thank you guys so much for 100,000 subscribers. Ever since I was a little kid, I've wanted one of these, so thank you guys so much. We hit 1 million subscribers. Thank you guys so much for making my dreams come true. Thank you for watching my videos, subscribing to me, and letting me be able to do this for a living. It means the world. I told him he just needed an upgrade. Dumbest Things Bought by Billionaires Part 2. When a Hong Kong businessman inherited a 26-carat black diamond, he decided he wanted to keep it with him at all times. He got a craftsman to make him a custom iPhone 5 with the diamond mounted on the home button. The back of the phone is covered in 24-karat gold, the sides are layered with 653 white diamonds, and the screen is sapphire glass made with real sapphires, bringing the total cost of the phone to $15 million. You admit that you broke into the same shop 3 times? Yes. Could you please tell the court what you stole? I stole a dress, Your Honor. Just one dress? But you admitted to breaking in 3 times. Yes, I did, Your Honor, but 2 of those times was to return the dress that I had took. Why? I don't understand. Because my wife didn't like the design. Genius inventions that should exist everywhere. In Poland, this bike path was made using thousands of tiny luminophores, which is a material that produces low levels of light for 10 hours, then recharges itself from the sun. The bike path doesn't require electricity and provides safety for people biking at night. 20 different cities in France have already implemented this. It allows you to charge your phone by using pedal power. The goal of the company is to promote an active lifestyle while making sure your phone doesn't die. People who use the bike also get free Wi-Fi. The Cal Maritime Police Department in California has placed a safe zone outside which is watched by a camera 24/7. They made this zone so you don't have to worry about getting hurt or robbed while purchasing things from people in your city. Sir, I pulled you over just now because you were driving way too fast. I was just trying to keep up with the traffic. But there isn't any traffic. I know, that's how far behind I am. 5 people who won the food lottery, part 7. This person grew braided carrots in their garden. This person ordered a McDouble from McDonald's and got 3 patties instead of 2. This person got 4 Reese's peanut butter cups in a pack of 3. This person got a clump of cinnamon in their cereal, and this person got a giant clump of Flamin' Hot seasoning. Why are you watching TV? My favorite show's playing. Well, they're making money, and what are you doing? Saving jobs. 3 people who beat the system. After this person's landlord said they couldn't paint the walls in their apartment, they decided to get paint strips and cover the walls. This person's teacher won't let them eat in class, so they filled an empty lip balm with cheese so they could sneak it in. This person was only allowed to have a 1-page cheat sheet, so they wrote a whole page of notes in red pen, then another page in blue pen. Then they brought 3D glasses to class, so when they looked through the red side they could see the red pen, and when they looked through the blue side they could see the blue pen. What are you doing? I'm playing Monopoly. Why? I'm trying to get the get out of jail free card. Secrets movie theaters don't want you to know. Movie theaters earn very little from ticket sales. That's why they decided to lower the cost of tickets and raise the cost of food, so the earnings would go entirely to the movie theater. Food combos won't always save you money. Sometimes it's just a strategy to make you think it's the best option. So next time check if it's better to buy a combo or buy the food separately. Sometimes there's people yelling at the cabin for the movie to start. But what they don't know is that the cabin is completely empty. Thanks to new technology, human assistance isn't needed. Movies will never start at the time the ticket says it will. This way they'll get more people to watch the ads before the movie. And if you ever thought you were cool sneaking into another movie than the one that you bought, the employees don't really care as long as there's seats available. My husband's missing. How long has he been missing for? Since last winter. So why did you wait till spring to report him missing? Because the landscaping company is asking too much to mow the lawn. Secret places hidden in famous locations. In the Eiffel Tower, there's a small apartment built at the top that the designer built for himself. Visitors can buy a ticket to look through the window into his apartment. In London, you could find a secret base in a lamppost located in the famous Trafalgar Square, which is the smallest police station in the world. It was built during the Great Depression of 1929 to control the riots that occurred in the area. The Grand Central Terminal train station has a tennis court hidden in a small space called the Annex. It's been used as a recording studio and even an art gallery, and you could even visit it whenever you want. Andrew Gordon discovered a small hole with a key while exploring Pixar Studios. When he went inside, he found an empty spot and turned it into Lucky 7 Lounge, an area for employees to relax, have a drink, and get some rest. Mom, I'm going to the pool. To go swimming? No! To drink it! I brought home food! Is that McDonald's? No! It's KFC! Are you in the bathroom? No! I'm in Alaska! Kids who remember their past lives. Sam Taylor is a boy who was born shortly after his grandfather passed away, and in his first year he already had memories of his grandfather's life. He even said to his father, "I remember when I used to change your diapers," when Sam's father was changing his. Shanae is a boy who was born with 2 birthmarks on his head. From the age of 3 he started having memories of his past life as a teacher, who was killed by a gunshot to the head. James Leininger is a kid who started having nightmares at the age of 2, about his past life as a World War II pilot. He claimed that in his past life he was the pilot James Houston, who was shot down in action in the Pacific Ocean. Dad, what's the difference between an Egyptian mummy and my mummy? It's simple, son. When we see an Egyptian mummy, you get scared, but when we see your mummy, I get scared. Deadliest foods people actually eat. Fugu is one of the deadliest dishes out there. In Japan, people usually eat it as a test of bravery, because the toxin in the pufferfish can leave you paralyzed for the rest of your life. Ballot is a food in some Southeast Asian countries, such as the Philippines or Vietnam. People literally eat the duck egg fetus. In Asia, some cultures eat raw monkey brains. Rather than killing you, it could lead you with a severe infection. The brain of an infected monkey can transmit a disease that is uncurable. Casu marzu is one of Italy's most traditional cheeses. Despite its ban for causing side effects, to make it, you set it outside uncovered and allow cheese flies to hatch eggs inside it. The eggs then hatch into maggots which eat away at your stomach. Babe, what do you think about our love? Count the stars in the sky. Aw, it's infinity? No, it's just a waste of time. Animals you should never touch. The sting of the bolodan is so painful that it could cause nausea, vomiting, and even heart problems. People who have gotten stung by this ant say the same is similar to if you got shot by a bullet. The catmoth caterpillar looks really friendly, but I would recommend that you don't touch it, because through their hairs they release a poison that can cause vomiting, weakness, and shivering. The Japanese giant hornet is so dangerous that if you touch it, it could kill you. The venom from the stinger can destroy human tissues to the point where it makes you walk with difficulty. Another highly venomous animal is the blue-ringed octopus. If you see one of these, get away quickly, because even though they're small, its venom can result in nausea, respiratory and heart problems, or even death if you don't treat it within a few minutes. And finally, the box jellyfish has been called the most venomous creature in the world. Its venom kills so fast that there's nothing you can do about it. Son, if you study today, I'll buy you a phone. Okay, Dad, I'll go right now. I finished. I lied. Me too. Most dangerous prison inmates in the world. Charles Manson was an American criminal who led a group of murderers called the Manson family. He was convicted of conspiracy for the murders of 7 people and sentenced to death, but he was later given a life sentence in prison due to a change in the law. Aileen Wuornos was an American serial killer who admitted she had killed 7 men in 1 year. She was nicknamed the Monster and sentenced to death by lethal injection in 2002 after 10 years in prison. Ted Bundy was another serial killer who took the lives of at least 30 women, but the actual number of victims is unknown. He was sentenced to death and executed in the electric chair. Jeffrey Dahmer was nicknamed the Milwaukee Cannibal. He was sentenced to life in prison but died after fighting another prisoner. Mythical creatures people have seen in real life. For a long time, the giant squid was considered a mythical creature that whipped the boats of sailors. But thanks to the advance in science, in 2004 a giant squid was found in its natural habitat. In 1967, 2 explorers filmed the creature walking in a Californian forest, which to this day is suspected to be Bigfoot. The chupacabra is a mythical creature that supposedly sucks the blood out of cattle, but there's a farmer who claimed he killed it. Mermaids are described as enchanting creatures. It is said that through their singing they attract sailors. Many claim to have taken pictures with them, all the way from Mexico and Jamaica to the coast of some African countries. I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. Really? Tell me the good news. Disney just loved your script, absolutely ate it up. That's awesome! And what's the bad news? Disney's the name of my dog. 3 times animals took revenge on humans. A Russian hunter shot and wounded a Siberian tiger during his hunt, but the tiger didn't forget what had happened, and after a few hours found the place that he lived and waited for him. When he arrived, the tiger killed and ate him. A hunter shot a deer and thought it was dead, but the deer got up and attacked him with his antlers, resulting in 6 stitches to the head. In 2011, a group of hunters killed an elephant in India, but what they didn't expect is that the rest of the herd would take revenge. They destroyed 54 houses in the area, they hid during the day and destroyed everything around them at night. People who won the food lottery part 11. This person found 2 fruit by the foots in 1 package. This person got a bun from McDonald's covered in seeds. This person got 9 pieces of cereal stuck together to make 1 big square. This person got an extra hot dog. And before I tell you the craziest one about this goldfish, I found this app that reads the lines on your palm and tells you what it means. Just press the button on my profile to get it. Finally, this person got a goldfish 3 times the size. Strangest things found on beaches. In 2016, thousands of snowballs were found on a beach in Siberia. It's said that they were formed from wind and cold weather. It's the first time something like this has ever happened and probably the last. If you've ever thought about sending a message in a bottle, somebody already did 101 years ago. A German fisherman found a message and actually managed to get it to the daughter of the sender. Although it looks like something out of a movie, a robotic hand was found on a beach near New York, and no one really knows where it came from. And if that one wasn't strange enough, a dinosaur bone was found on a beach in Washington. Scientists analyzed it and said it could be from a T-Rex or a Velociraptor, and it's estimated to be around 80 million years old. And finally, the creepiest one of all. Between 2007 and 2008, multiple feet were found still in shoes on the beaches in Canada. In total, 7 feet were found and there's still no explanation. Hi Luke, it's your teacher. Can I speak to your parents? My parents aren't home. Well, could I leave them a message? Sorry, we don't have an answering machine. Discoveries that made people rich. A collector bought a painting and when he went to fix the frame, he realized that inside was a piece of paper. But it wasn't just any piece of paper. He found a copy of the United States Declaration of Independence. He bought the painting for $4, but the piece of paper is worth almost $1 million. A man whose hobby is to use a metal detector to search for treasure got really lucky. He found a strange greenish piece with a red engraving, then a chain, and finally a Celtic treasure, which is again worth close to $1 million. As the couple was packing to move to a new house, they found an Action comic book number 1, dated 1938 in one of the boxes in their attic. Only 99 copies of this comic exist and each are sold for $1.5 million. This is gonna be your homework for tonight. This is our homework? No! It's food for your dog. Are you gonna buy that? No! I'm just giving it a ride. Hey, do you need any help? No! I'm just waving my hands in the air for no reason. Okay, have a nice day. Explain mysteries caught at schools. In 1961 at Westall High School in Melbourne, several students spotted a UFO that flew at low altitude. It made its way through trees until it took flight again and disappeared. Another unexplained mystery is the strange stench that hit a high school in Rhode Island. The stench, which was apparently from the cafeteria, was so strong that they had to suspend final classes. But to this day, they still have no clue what it was from. The Cokeville miracle occurred at an elementary school, where a former police officer and his wife brought a bomb to the school. They kidnapped the entire school in exchange for a large sum of money. The bomb exploded and the couple died on the spot, but thankfully none of the children were harmed. Okay, Okay class, we're gonna start by sharing our dreams. What's yours, Luke? My dream is to earn $1 million per year like my dad. Wow, your dad earns that much? No, that's also my dad's dream. Most wanted people in the world. Eugene Palmer is wanted for supposedly shooting and killing his daughter-in-law in 2012. His ex had filed a restraining order against his son, which made him mad. For giving him up or providing information to find him, the FBI is offering a reward of up to $100,000. Mexican drug trafficker Rafael Cuero Quintero was arrested by the DEA. He spent 28 years in prison until he was released in 2013. But in 2015, he was convicted of murder and is currently considered a fugitive from justice. The reward for his capture is $20 million. Robert William Fisher made the FBI's top 10 most wanted list for murdering his wife and 2 kids, then exploding their house in 2001. Look at my invisible car. Luckiest things found in storage units. A homeless couple looking for a couch bought a storage unit that had an old couch and a teddy bear for $10 because nobody else wanted it. But when they checked inside the bear, they found $300,000 in cash. A man from Long Island found a sports car in a storage unit that cost him $100. But that's not all. The car was from a James Bond movie and Elon Musk offered him $1 million for it. A couple who bought a storage unit found a 16th century pirate treasure chest. The chest was full of Spanish coins and the whole thing sold for $500,000. An art enthusiast bid $15,000 for some paintings to resell. Among the pile of 200 paintings, 5 of them were masterpieces that had been lost and they were worth $2.5 million. Ma'am, do you know why I pulled you over? No, but I'm in a rush. I understand, ma'am, but I have to ticket anyone over 55. That's discrimination! Ma'am, I meant the speed limit. Athletes who were caught cheating. In 2012, it was confirmed that cyclist Lance Armstrong had used drugs throughout his career to enhance his performance. He received a lifetime ban and got his 7 Tour de France victories taken away. Tom Brady demanded that the balls being used in a game between the Patriots and the Indianapolis Colts were to be slightly inflated to gain an advantage. Although they won 45-7, Brady was fined $4 million and banned for 4 games. Ben Johnson cheated to win the 100-meter dash in the 1988 Olympics. A prohibited anabolic steroid was detected in his samples, for which he was banned for 2 years. A few years later, he tested positive again and was banned for life. Finally, in the 1986 World Cup, in a game between Argentina and England, Diego Maradona scored a goal with his hand, and the referee counted it despite the evidence. I changed my name on Instagram to no one. Why would you do that? So when I see a dumb post, I could like it, and it'll say no one liked this. April Fool pranks that went way too far. The sales assistant at a store called her boss and told him that the store was being robbed and she was being threatened. Within a few minutes, police cars and helicopters surrounded the store. When she said it was an April Fool's prank, she was arrested and fired from her job. A lady was arrested after calling her daughter and saying she was shot at her home. The daughter called the police, but when 20 police officers arrived, they realized that no one was there and it was just a bad joke. On a radio station in England, the DJ decided to make a joke saying from the cliffs of Beachy Head, a ship very similar to the Titanic could be seen. Tons of people went to the cliff, causing a lot of traffic. A few days later, due to the traffic, a crack opened up the ground and it fell into the sea.
Mom, can we bring this cat home?
No, son, we already have a cat at home.
But it doesn't have a family.
Did you say family?
Mom?
No, son, it's Dom Toretto. Come on, let's bring it home.
Homeless people who won the lottery. Laszlo Andrzejczyk was an alcoholic from Hungary who lost everything. He was homeless for 7 years with hundreds of unpaid debts. But his luck changed when he bought a lottery ticket for just a few pennies. He won 636 million Hungarian guilders, which is equivalent to $2.5 million. A man living in his car from England bought a lottery ticket with his last few pennies. He put the ticket away and 6 months after he bought it, he found out that he had won £250,000. A homeless man who lived in a tent won $50,000 after buying a ticket. Even though he could have bought a small house to live in, he chose to upgrade his tent and help his homeless friends by giving them each $100. Who knows how to solve this question? Psst, Luke. What? There's something under your arm. What? Really? Great, come up and solve it, Luke. Dumbest lottery winners. After winning $1.3 million in the California lottery, Dennis Rossi filed for divorce from Thomas Rossi so she wouldn't have to share the money with him. Thomas decided to sue her for violating state law and he kept all the money. Michael Carroll won $14 million when he was just 19. After claiming he wouldn't spend the money on dumb things, he bought multiple luxury cars, mansions, and other expensive things. To this day, he lost all his money and works at a cookie factory. Jack Whitaker won $315 million in the US lottery. When he claimed it, he took it all in cash. However, thieves broke into his house and took millions of dollars.
My mom left me in the car, and now this guy keeps staring at me.
Cartoon cartoon houses that exist in real life. You can visit SpongeBob's house without having to dive into the sea. At the Nickelodeon Resort in Punta Cana, there's a very similar replica of the cartoon's house, and it even has a life-size version of Gary. The Flintstones house was also made in real life. It's located in California and costs $4 million. In Nevada, there's a life-size replica of the Simpsons house. To build the house with all the details from the cartoon, the production company 20th Century Fox spent $120,000, and they had the great idea to give it away in a competition. But in the end, the winner of the competition preferred $75,000 instead of the house. 5 people who won the food lottery, part 12. This person got a banana the size of their forearm. This person got a lemon way bigger than their hand. This person found a pearl in the oyster that they were eating. This person grew a carrot that looks like a hand. Now before I tell you the craziest one about this gummy bear, I found this app that boosts your Snapchat and makes it look like this. Just press the button on my profile to get it. Finally, this person found a wizard in their pack of gummy bears. You have one new voice message. Hi honey, I just wanted to let you know that I'm gonna be home late, so can you please wash my clothes and make my favorite meal for supper? Thanks. Yeah, right. Now what? Oh, and I forgot to tell you, I got a raise at my job, so I'm gonna buy you a brand new car. What? Hello? Are you actually buying me a new car? No, I just wanted to make sure you got my first message. Most expensive things thrown away. J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter, gave an interviewer one of her books. He thought it would be a flop, so he threw it in the trash. Today, the first edition of the copy sells for over $80,000. In England, one of the machines used by the British government to decipher secret messages during World War II was thrown into a recycling plant. The machine is valued at $10,000 and is considered one of the most important pieces of history in the world. A woman in the US took her 1976 Apple I computer to a recycling center. Not too long later, the owners of the center auctioned the computer for $200,000. But they're now trying to find the former owner to share the money with. James Howell lost 7,500 bitcoins in 2013 after losing the hard drive that he stored them on. At the time, one coin was $130, but today each coin is $40,000, meaning he lost over $300 million.
Heart been broke so many times, I don't know what to believe. Mama say it's my fault, I wear my heart on my sleeve.
5 coolest houses in the world. The transparent house is in Tokyo and consists of 3 floors with walls that are completely see-through. According to the people who built it, it was inspired by ancestors who lived in trees. In Hong Kong, there's a house that's 105 square meters with walls that move. Storage spaces unfold to create 24 individualized rooms. In Australia, there's a $700,000 house that's built on a turntable, and it makes a complete rotation every 30 minutes. In Malibu, California, there's the skateboard house. It's a house designed by a former world champion skateboarder, and the inside consists of a large skate park. Finally, we have the Hobbit house in Wales. It was created by a photographer who's a fan of the movie The Lord of the Rings. The cost was $5,200 and only natural materials were used.
I ain't gonna cry too long. I'm back on my drip. Drip my drip my drip.
Flight attendants never tell passengers. Even if you ask for regular coffee, they'll give you decaf, because they prefer you to sleep during the flights because it means less work for them. The water used for tea and coffee isn't the cleanest. It's the same as the water used for toilets, as it's pumped from tanks that have probably never been cleaned. Locking yourself in the bathroom often isn't the best idea, because it's possible to open them from the outside, and if you're found to be suspicious of anything unusual, you'll be taken to the police when you land. Seat trays are one of the dirtiest things on an airplane, because although they clean the plane after all the passengers leave, they don't clean the trays because it would take too long. Oxygen masks don't provide as much air as you would think. They only provide 15 to 20 minutes, which is just enough time for the plane to land. Did you know you're like the sun? Aw, because I brighten up your day? No, because you hurt my eyes whenever I look at you. 4 ways you've been secretly tricked by companies. In the list of ingredients on a product, manufacturers often use the scientific name of certain ingredients to confuse the customer. This way you don't quite understand if the ingredient is healthy or not. Limited time offers are a trick to create a sense of urgency so that you buy the product before the sale ends. But in reality, it's probably not a real offer, or it may never end. Advertising agencies alter the photos of the products they're promoting in order to make them look more eye-catching. In most photos and commercials, they don't even use real food. They use glue for milk, car oil for syrup, and coffee bubbles are actually soap. Companies give a human character to an animal or object to get you to buy their product. It makes them look more adorable and it'll give you the confidence to buy it. Some examples are the Duracell bunny and the Fruit Loops toucan. Luke, give me a sentence starting with I. I is... No, always start with I am. Alright, I am the 9th letter of the alphabet. Luckiest people who survived the impossible. Satomi Yamaguchi is the only person recognized by the Japanese government to survive the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but unfortunately he died at the age of 93 after complications from the radiation which he was exposed to. Eric Nurse was scuba diving when he found a cave 10 meters deep, which he didn't realize was the mouth of a great white shark. His head, shoulder, and arm were caught by the animal. After a 2-minute struggle, Eric stabbed the shark in the eye several times with a knife and it eventually let him go. Roy Sullivan was a US park ranger who was struck by lightning 7 times and survived. The first time he was struck in the foot, the second in his eyebrow, the third in his shoulder, and the fourth in the chest and stomach.
God, it's brutal out here.
Places on Earth that no human has set foot on. This place is the Island of Snakes. It's in Brazil and is only visited by Brazilian military and some scientific researchers. You're not allowed to go there because there's 1 to 5 snakes everywhere you step. And the golden snake, which is one of the most dangerous snakes in the world, lives there. Grankar Punsum is a mountain located in the Kingdom of Bhutan. It's over 7,000 meters in the air and has never been touched by a human and never will. Because in 1994, climbing over 6,000 meters in the air was prohibited for religious reasons. And lastly, North Sentinel Island. The Indian government banned any contact with the island because of the aggressiveness from the people that live there. Recently, 2 fishermen decided to explore the island and they were killed by the people that live there. How was your meal tasting, sir? Can I speak to the manager, please? Of course, just one moment. I heard you wanted to speak to me? Yeah, I wanted to compliment you on your very clean kitchen. Clean kitchen? Pfft, have you seen our kitchen? No, but it must be clean because all this food tastes like soap. Secrets hotels don't want you to know. The free breakfast they offer isn't really free. The cost of the breakfast is included in the room's rate. The people who work in housekeeping only straighten the sheets and arrange the pillows. They only wash them if there's a visible stain. Booking a room is more expensive at night because that's when most people are looking for reservations. The ideal time to call the hotel is between 5 and 6 p.m. because at night they increase their prices because they know there's not many other options. Tipping the staff can give you a lot of benefits, such as deeper cleaning in your room, a special treatment, improvements in your room, and in general better service. 5-star hotels know your social status before you arrive and will give more attention to famous or wealthy people. And lastly, everything is negotiable. Hotels will always be open to negotiating a few things so you stay and leave a high review. Babe, do you think I'm pretty or ugly? I'd say both. What do you mean? You're pretty ugly. 5 people who won the food lottery. This person got a massive fry the same size as the bag. This person got a strawberry the size of their palm. This person found a smaller grape in the grape that they were eating. This person got 4 chips linked together. Now before I tell you the craziest one about this Sour Patch Kid, I found this app that lets you prank your friends and family by changing their text messages. Just press the button on my profile to get it. Finally, this person found the King Sour Patch Kid.